boys. We did it again. That's what. It didn't go very fast. It went 576 at 124. We're either down on cylinder or we heard a head gasket. Which if we heard a head gasket, we're down on cylinder. So this is this is number 8. Look. That doesn't look good at all. Alright, dust is tore down. I already seen the damage, but we gotta drop the oil pan and make sure that's all the damage. So we'll drop the oil pan and we'll see what we got. Oh my god. Dude, what? I'm just kidding. That happened a couple days ago in the daily, the Silverado. Wife was driving it, 7-8 left the chat. As far as the duster, it's pretty much fine. We just burnt that piston there, and then this hole got hot and got the head gasket right there. So we just got a little bit of rust on the cylinder. All the other ones look amazing.
What is up? What is happening, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna get this mother trucker back running again. Let's go. All right, guys, we were back on Lucky Luciano. It's been a long time. If you don't know, we had torched a piston, which that's all the damage we had. Thank goodness. I believe it was from a voltage issue. So I think the battery was going dead, going down track. Leaned it out just a little much, and that's the only piston we got. So number 8. All right. So from there, I run Icon pistons, the gas ported Icons, and you know, I've ordered pistons. Well, I ordered a single piston 3 times. The first 2 times I order it, they call like a couple of days later, like, hey, we don't have any singles. You can either buy a whole kit or call back in a couple months. We might have a single. And I was about to order an entire 8 pistons for, I need 1 because I don't plan on this motor staying in the car that much longer. So we finally got one. Everything's a mess. Excuse the garage. Y'all might not have seen this car in a while, but we kind of been working on it. If y'all remember, this was the rough side. And yeah, she's getting there. There's a lot of mud over here. What had happened was when we tried to go backside no prepping, I still had the car pretty fucking low, and we put 250 pounds in the trunk. And what happened is the tire, not that tire, but one of the tires had grabbed the quarter because it was so low and ripped it all in. So we needed a lot of mud to kind of fix that area. The real way to fix it would have been put quarters on the car, but we ain't doing that. Anyway, this car is getting ready to go to paint. We're gonna have it painted pretty soon. Well, for me soon. It'll be painted within the next couple months. But today, this thing's got to come back to life. So to do that, just have everything sitting on the car. We gotta take the intake back off. We gotta take the head back. It's just sitting on there. It ain't bolted down or nothing. And we're going to give that cylinder a quick hone, because also while it melted that piston, as obviously got the head gasket, got a little bit of water in there. Not a big deal. Quick hone. We got to take that rod, put it on that piston, and we got a new ring set too. We'll gap that ring and install that piston, and then slap this thing back together. Shouldn't be more than just a few hours. And get her buttoned up and make some fucking noise. I'm excited. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get everything off this motor and get to, I guess, following the piston ring. All right, cylinder heads off, and that little spot right there is just what we need to clean up. So we'll go ahead and do that. I got to drop the oil pan back off and try to cover up that journal so I don't get no dirt in it. And give that a quick hone, and we'll be in business, baby. All right, so we got a singular piston. However, I'm pretty sure this is why it's a single. They pulled it out of a kit because of that. So we need to sand that so that doesn't create a hot spot. Also, it's got a little bit of high edge right there. So no big deal. We'll just slap like a 180 on the DA, maybe some 80 grit, and knock that down. I'm assuming they pulled this out of a kit because of that. And boy, they charged me out this piston. Okay, the set of pistons are, $900 something. This piston was $225. So thank you, United Engines. I appreciate you. But I went ahead and got the oil ring on there. They are the gas ported. So we'll grab a DA, which we have plenty of them laying around because we're doing all kind of body work, and get this thing cleaned up because we need this to fit our rings. Actually did it by hand, and it cleaned up pretty fast. There's nothing, you can't feel nothing. Clean that up, and this really is pretty cosmetic. Some people are going to think it's the piston ring's what sealed the piston, obviously. So that right there ain't gonna hurt nothing. So now we got this. Actually, we do need to hone that before I start file fitting piston rings. So we'll just grab our trusted old hone and run up and down it a few times, and he'll pull the oil pan off right quick, and then we'll get to that. All right, so oil pan's off. You can see down there to the ground. Now, to protect everything, we're just going to shove some paper towels down in here. We don't need to hit the bottom of the cylinders. It's really just that top area right there. I just don't want nothing falling on that. Actually, let's pull this back out for a second. We need a WD-40 that. And I don't want nothing falling down into the bottom where the crank journal is. So, lube that bad boy up. Grab our drill. Lube it up again, and get the honing. Alright, so it took a few more passes trying to get this spot right here out. Can't feel that anymore, so that's good. Y'all know what to do next. Clean it up, and we'll check it, make sure there's nothing else we can feel. Alright, so it didn't get it out, but it's not something you can catch on your nail, so I think it's good. So up next, we'll go to piston rings. You can't catch it. You can see it, but you can't catch it. I think that's the part of the melted piston. So I don't know. I think I'm gonna still try to get that out. I think I'm gonna hit it a few more times because I don't like that at all. All right, it is gone. So yay! The only spots we have are way down there. I don't think the piston goes way down there. I don't even know. That's not even nothing you can catch your nail on. So, thank goodness. All right, now time for piston rings. We have some Wiseco's 4360H is our part number, and we're looking for the taper side to go up, which is they also have a dot. That is up, my friends. So, what you do is you fit this bad boy in here, because this is a 4.360 bore, and this is going to take two hands. Put it in there, slide the piston down, center it up, and then we'll check gap. I'm assuming they're going to be pretty tight, probably about 19. We need to go to 34. That's what all the rings are gapped at. Big boost, which we have never ran yet. The most we've had since the car's been right, most boost we've had is 16. So, and it's went decently fast at 16 pounds, but I'm trying to get to like 35. We fought this car for 2 years, and I think once we got a set of, I kind of messed up. We went fuel injectors, valve springs, push rods, and smart cools all at the same time, but I think the fuel injectors was my issue. I just don't think I had the right injector data. So, since it's been running right, it's seen 16 pounds, and it's been decently quick, but we're trying to go in the 4s. So anyway, 34. Let's get this gapped out and go from there. So there's our number right there, and from the factory it is 26. So we don't have to take much off. So pull this bad boy back out, come over here. That's our new spiral locks. And we file the ring. All right, so to file rings, it's pretty simple, guys. You put your ring in your bore, okay? And then I just squared up with the piston. I already have the bottom ring done, and so it goes to the bottom ring, so I know it's flush. Pull it out, so the ring should be in there flush, just a little bit down the cylinder, because it's always going to have a somewhat of a taper. And then I have my 35 thou, and like it goes in there, but not very good, and then it pulls the ring, so we know it's not actually 35 thou. I know I said 34, but here's also the deal about rings. So if you have too much piston ring gap, nobody's going to know. The car's going to have a little bit of blow by, but it already does. Everything's at 34 thou. So we open it up. So as cylinder pressure increases, the rings get tighter and they squeeze. And when these squeeze and they can't squeeze no more, they butt up, and that's how they break a piston. Now, this one, we had a lot of cylinder pressure. You see it pinch the ring, so that ring doesn't move, except for this side right here. But you see it never touched, and that's what we're looking for. We want it to never touch, because if piston ring is too tight, everybody's gonna know. If it's too loose, nobody will know. So we're gapping them and go from there. Hey, hello. All right, so Dad came to help me. I got a little, just started going. So we cleaned out the cylinder really well. We got the piston rings filed, cleaned out the cylinder, cleaned off the crank. We went ahead and took the old spiral lock off the old piston. For y'all that don't know what a spiral lock is, one of these guys, it just sits in these grooves right here. See, this one's still in there, and that holds the pin. And it's free floating. That means this can move everywhere. And then we just use the same oil we use to throw it together. So we're going to reuse the bearing, because the bearing still looks really good. So if the bearing looks like that, that's a nice even surface. What's the point of changing this one bearing if we ain't changing all of them? So we're just not changing any of them. We're going to reuse this bearing because it looks great. Anyway, so next we're going to go ahead, slide this piston hole in the hole, and get it tightened up, get the oil pan on it, and get to making some noise, hopefully before too long. Alright, so piston is in. Got the rod torqued down 55 foot-pounds. Dad already left. We got the piston in. And then he took his ring compressor back. Well, we have it set. So this is 40 over. So this is 4.360. So we have the ARP 4.360 actual ring compressor. But he has it in his kit. And it's got, 440 that's 30 over, 40 over, 50 over, and 60 over. And, yeah. So he just grabbed it and put it back in his kit. So it's all in there. Motor turns over good. Up next is I just cleaned out the oil pan. I'm gonna put the oil pan back on it, and then I guess copper coat some head gaskets, and I'm probably gonna have to send my son to the store to get some orange RTV for the headers. And that's really about it. I can't really think of anything else. I mean, it's pretty close. It don't look like it's close, but it's pretty close. Gotta plug everything back up, but I mean, it's easy. So yeah, we'll go ahead and get the oil pan and the windage tray back on it and come back up top. All right, so oil pan is on, oil fittings are on, got the head cleaned up, cleaned all the mating surfaces, including the rear. Typically just use this nylon brush and a whole bunch of brake cleaner, and for this I just clean this with brake cleaner and a rag. Oh, my chair just fell behind me. Oh my god. Oh no, somebody help. Alright, get back over there. Guys, this garage is a mess, boy. I'm doing all this bodywork in here, stuff's everywhere. Anyway, boy, I swear to god, I'm a squirrel. But brake clean this off with a rag. Make sure you get all the old stuff. And here we have a new gasket. Maybe get off of there. So this is yeah, there's a part number somewhere. CGT C56 or 5461-40 4.380. So slightly bigger board than ours, but that's what we need. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this guy, open that up. I got some copper spray around here somewhere. Copper spray. Give that a good dosing. I had good luck with this Indian head, but we're going back to the copper spray. I just feel like it's a little bit better. We'll spray it up, throw it on the motor. We got all that cleaned up, and set the head on. Almost fucked up. I got the gasket out. I got the spray coat, and I almost left this. So, Indy Valley plate. Okay, you have to silicone this so it don't leak here and here, and then it needs about a gigantic bead all the way across the top. Otherwise it's gonna leak. So got to clean this up, and then I got some ultra black, and we'll put ultra black all down there and get that siliconed up. Then we'll spray the gasket, put the gasket on, and go from there. All right, so it should look like that. Should be stacking dimes. Now let's spray the gasket. Heads are torqued to 140 foot-pounds. No, I'm just playing. They're torqued down to 85. That's what ARP calls for. So we got our heads torqued. Now what I do is I just run them down with an impact, and then I go 50, 65, 85. These are just your regular ARP, nothing fancy. As you see, we got a nice squish on our silicone. So we're just gonna take this guy and kind of like push her down off up in there. Oh yeah, that's the money shot. And then we get a rag and clean that up. All right, so what we're gonna do now, damn it, the way you know you got all the silicone good is if you got silicone all over everything. You want it on your ground wire, on your cam sync, on your phone case, everywhere. That's a good silicone job. So we're gonna let that sit up for a little bit, let that harden up. Probably give it, I don't know, 30 minutes or so. It's about time for lunch. I'll go in, eat lunch, come back in, and then it's push rods, rockers, and we got to run the valves. I need to run to O'Reilly's. I don't have any high temp Permatex for the header, so I have to go get that. And then yeah, we'll be going from there. So making good progress. We've been on it now for probably about 2 hours, so not too bad. All right, so I got all these you know, I ain't got the rocker stands torqued, but I got them tight. I'm gonna go ahead and tighten them. I don't really torque them because every time I try to torque them I end up breaking one. So I'm just gonna make sure they're tight by hand. I'm gonna roll the motor over to top dead center, and I'm gonna start setting valves, just this side. So I ain't taking the valve cover off of there. It should still be good. Obviously before we go race it, we'll check valves. That's part of my pre-race checklist. They call for 18 hot, so I set them at 14 cold. Tighten this down, top dead center, and we'll go from there. So big block mopar, this is how you set the valves. I just have it here in my toolbox, but it's my little one way the fuck far away. So I got a picture on my phone and I go that way. So when you go 180 degrees, and it tells you what to set. So yay. So we'll go ahead and get the motor over top dead center and get to setting the valves. Gavin going to O'Reilly's for me, dressed like a slob. He's got on pajama pants. I don't know why, but go ahead, turn this over top dead center and set the valves. All right, so if you don't know how to set valves, this is a solid roller. So I mean, the lifter is solid. Like, you don't have a hydraulic plunger like a hydraulic roller or a hydraulic flat tappet. It'd be like a solid flat tappet or a solid roller. So you start at top dead center, you do your valves, whatever two it calls for, and then you roll it 90 degrees in the rotation. And then you set those valves, roll it 90 degrees in the rotation. So this time we're going to set, we're at our third step, which is 8 intake, 3 exhaust. So obviously we're only doing this side right now. So 8 intake. Obviously this is number 8, so you got 2, 4, 6, and 8. And here it lines up with the intake port, goes to the intake valve. The exhaust port lines up with the exhaust valve. And then we're going 14th thou and it doesn't fit. So this here's a lock nut. You just break this loose and you adjust this adjuster right here until this 14th thou can go in there with just a tight little bit of grab. You don't want it to just slide in there and be floppy, but also you don't want it to catch as it goes in there. So that's how you set these valves. And that is how you adjust these valves. Now if this was a hydraulic motor, you would just twist these until you feel some resistance and then tighten it down and it's good to go. But since we're solid, it calls for 18 hot. So in my experience with a steel block and aluminum heads, it grows about 4 thou. So when you set them at 14 cold, they're about 18 hot. But your cam manufacturer should tell you what they want on their cam. For example, 18 thou, but cold it's 14 thou. So hopefully you learned something if you didn't already know. All right, so just ran through all of it. Everything's got solid 14 thou. The last one was number 2 exhaust, and that's beautiful right there. So now we're just waiting on Gavin to get back with the gasket maker. We'll put the header on it, finish turbo kit, valve cover, and put oil in it. That's a big thing. Change the filter. Yeah, we're getting pretty close. And start hooking stuff up. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, still suck at this YouTube thing. Anyway, car's back together. Minus one header bolt. Can't find it. But we can't crank it yet because silicone is still dry everywhere. I pull that filter off. I got a Pro 1 reusable filter, so we're going to do that. But turbo kit's back on, charge pipe's on, intake's on, everything's plugged up. I haven't put oil in it yet, so that's why the burn down tubes are still undone. Cool packs are plugged up, spark plugs in. I can't really think of anything. Dad's going to come back by and bring me one header bolt. These Indies, they're weird. They're like 3/4 inch deep, so I can't just. I have plenty of bolts, but some of them are too long. So, yay. But yeah, wait on that one header bolt. Let all the rest of the silicone dry up, tack up. Pop off that oil filter, put the new one on, and yeah, we can hit the start button. I was gonna say key, but we don't have a key. We can hit the start button. So, woohoo! Progress. All right. So while we're sitting here waiting on our header bolt, went ahead and pulled the alternator. This here is a Power Master. It's an adjustable, 12 all the way up to 16 volt. But it's 75 amps, guys. So my thought process was with the one battery and this not producing enough amps to even, I'm pretty sure the cools take 75 amps. So this thing wasn't really charging. I mean, it's a great piece. It works great. But with all the electronics that we have, I figured we needed something more. So here's the new. It's preset 16 volt. I don't know the specs on it. Bought it from HCR. It's preset 16 amps, and hopefully this one works better than that last one. It's a little bit different size case. That one's a mini. This one's a full size. So hopefully we can put it back in the same location and all that, and it'll be good. The only difference is this one I'll have to run a negative ground to. If you ran a ground to that one, it quit charging at idle. So this one supposedly creates 151 amps at idle. So we'll put this guy in, and hopefully that'll solve our voltage issue. Also, our other battery over there, so we'll have two. Say hi, Gav. He just got back from the gym. I couldn't go. We have race cars to worry about. So let's get this bad boy thrown in there and go from there. It runs. So she is done. And we done moved it around and played musical cars. We got BMW Alley, Truck Highway. Garage is even more a mess now. It is, whoo boy. It is rough in here. Up in here. Now, in this video, I'm super nasally and all that stuff. Yeah, your boy, it's hot then it's cold. You're yes then you're no. I got a cold going on or something. But we got the car turned around. It's running. We're gonna pull the injectors, go throw them in the ultrasonic, clean them because I don't think it's running on all 8. We got to address some of the wiring. I ordered new oil hose for the external oil pickup because I don't like the way that's done. We got to run a few grounds. Blah 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 blah. Up next, got to get this thing done. I haven't touched it in so long. I don't even think I've shown you guys. Like, I mean, it's not far off. You know, we got a few hoses made. We got to make some more hoses. A 2008 Silverado top hose actually works. It looks stupid, but you know, I wanted to keep it stock BMW radiator, so if anything happens, I could just go order one. And yeah, I mean, fuel system's pretty much done. There's not too much left. I got to do some transmission stuff, some wiring, drive shaft made, and then the dually. We got to redo the headliner. I got a whole new front end rebuild kit. We got to do brakes on that. Silverado, we got to put a motor in. The 2 Mustangs, I've got to tear apart and make 1 Mustang. There's just so much to do and not enough time. But anyway, that's so much is life, right? So plus I work, you know, this is the 5th day I've been off this year. This is like February 28th, I think, or this is the 1st, I don't know, of March. I've had 5 days off this year, including today. Well, I got to go to work tonight, so woo. Anyway, we're going to work hard. We're going to try to race as much as we possibly can. They've did some Grudge at the Gates, you know, down there racing to Memphis, some backside races. And that's what this thing's built for. So that's what we're going to be trying to do. But I'm going to spend the rest of the day, before I go to work, I'm going to try to clean up in here because, yeah, it's rough. But we'll get this thing painted pretty soon, get it out there, and start enjoying it, man. So I appreciate each and every one of you for watching. Thank you so much. Also, don't buy one of those Pro Systems oil filters. They suck. I gotta go get an oil filter so I can change that. But thanks, guys. I appreciate you. Love you. And I don't know what else to say, so bye.